Welcome to the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. Just like you, I'm an independent retail business owner. I love the home decor and gift boutique I co-own with my sister, but I don't want it to consume me or my life. Join me each week as I share lessons learned, helpful tips, and valuable information for your retail business and life. Whether you're buying your products or making your products, whether you're a $25K business or a $2.5 million business, I'm on a mission to help indie retailers work less, profit more, and grow. Let's get started on today's episode. Welcome to episode 167 of the Savvy Shopkeeper Retail Podcast, How I Broke My Addiction to Checking Email. I'm your host, Kathy Cruz. Prior to vacation, I recently went on vacation with my family. I made a promise to myself that I would not purchase a single book until I finish or make a decision on the books I have started or haven't opened yet. And there's a lot of them. I shared this promise to myself and Master Shopkeepers, and it caused an interesting conversation in our Facebook group. It was humorous. Members know that this is something I'm working on, and the jokes have been abundant, taunting or trying to get me to justify buying books again. It's all in fun. Trust me, Master Shopkeepers members are pretty funny. Anyhow, while on vacation, I took 3 of those unfinished books with me. Books that have been sitting on my nightstand for probably a year, but probably most likely longer. Ooh, I cringe a little. Anyhow, I read, or really I should say skimmed, 2 of the 3 books. At least it got me to the finish, and neither really caught my attention, but I am patting myself for shortening my unread book list by 2. Needless to say, neither book is hitting my recommendation list. However, in the 4-Hour Work Week, I think that's the name of the book as I look on my bookshelf. Yeah, 4-Hour Work Week. One thing the author said that struck me was about creating a system around checking email. Now, you all know I love a good system. It's the reason why I can run 2 businesses and do all the things I do, travel, and have a really good life. And it hit me like a ton of bricks, the realization that although I have almost all notifications turned off on my phone, I'm still constantly in my inboxes. And it's an incredible waste of time. In episode 49 of this podcast, it's titled How to Get Unaddicted to Your Phone, I shared some tips that have seriously helped me break other phone-related habits. So for instance, the only notifications I think I get on my phone are from one news source and text messages. That's it. Everything else is turned off. All app and email notifications are turned off too. However, I spend a lot of time on my laptop, and the one tab that's always open, aside from my Google Calendar, is Gmail. And it's clear that I'm addicted. So when did the addiction realization hit me? It's when I got back from vacation and I decided to start to systemize my email checking. I decided I was going to attempt to do this only 3 times per day, in the morning when I wake up, late morning, and then towards the end of my workday. That's a big difference compared to how often I was checking before. And with the limit of no more than 30 minutes in my inbox, that was another rule I set for myself. So are you gasping for air yet? You're like, oh my gosh, Kathy, how can you do this? This episode is brought to you by my free resource, Open a Brick and Mortar Retail Store Checklist. If you're feeling overwhelmed, I get it. Get my checklist to help you get your thoughts and to-dos organized. Organized by topic, this checklist is the list I wish someone would have given me many years ago when I opened. Visit savvyshopkeeper.com/open checklist, all one word, savvyshopkeeper.com/open checklist. Sign up for my newsletter to get the checklist. So as I started to work on this podcast episode, it was April 3rd, 2023. It was the first day that I attempted to break the email checking addiction, and I did such a poor job of following my new system. That's when it became really apparent to me. At the end of the day, I realized that I simply must have that email tab closed. I am determined to win this habit-breaking challenge with myself, of course. Checking my emails constantly causes a ton of task switching, and I mean a ton. When I task switch, I'm not nearly as focused. I feel distracted, and it doesn't feel nearly as good as when I focus on one thing at a time. Now, I don't know if I've ever said this on the podcast episode, and I'm not diagnosed. I've never been diagnosed with ADHD, but I'm pretty sure I could easily be. And listen, if you Google task switching or multitasking, you'll see a variety of opinions on this subject. You'll see that yes, task switching and multitasking is good. And you'll hear, no, it's not good. It's really bad. You'll lose X hours a week. I'm not here to take sides. I'm here to do what's best for me, my work days, and my businesses. If you love to task switch, go for it. So if I get back to my story, I thought to myself, why am I creating inefficiency for myself? If I truly want to limit the number of hours I work in a week, and I'm always trying to make that better, it means I have to be incredibly savvy about my time. And I also talked about this in episode 110. That one was titled, Don't Manage Time, Manage Your Mind. I am 100% on board with the fact that I have 24 hours a day. I can't change that. I won't live in denial about it, and I won't wish for more time. I also won't lose or compromise my sleep. Like for me, 7 hours is my sweet spot. So that means 17 hours. I have 17 hours a day to work with. And I don't want to spend 17 hours working. There's 2 now. I'm committing to working out 2 hours to working out. Now, I don't work out the whole 2 hours. Sometimes it's like travel time to the gym and back, but I block off 2 full hours so that I get my workout in. And then at least 6 to 8 hours are for me, like me time or family time. And you get the picture. Our brain loves the norm, or what it thinks is the norm. It doesn't want to change. But if I've learned anything over the past 3 years in particular, it's that I can retrain my brain. It's liberating, like seriously liberating. This episode is brought to you by Master Shopkeepers, my mastermind group for brick and mortar retail store owners. If you're craving support, connection, inspiration, and motivation for your retail business, apply to join us. It doesn't matter what stage of shopkeeping you're in. What matters is your drive to work less, profit more, and grow, both personally and professionally. Learn more at savvyshopkeeper.com/group membership. That's savvyshopkeeper.com/group membership, all one word. Now, a book that I have mentioned before is Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a fantastic resource on the topic of habits. It's listed in episode 124, and that one was my 8 favorite business books. If you aren't in book jail like me, go grab the book, especially if you want to improve your habits. We'll have it linked in the show notes. Anyhow, as I sat on my sofa working on this episode, my eyes kept bouncing to where I normally have that email tab open. It was always in the same spot. It was literally the first tab open. Always sat in that first tab. Like, how ridiculous is that? Now, let me add, I titled this podcast episode as if I already broke this habit. Clearly, I haven't, because it's just a few days later when I'm recording this podcast episode, but I love to talk about and create the future me. And the future me is not addicted to email or wasting hours on this unproductive or inefficient habit. So there you go. This podcast episode, I think, is just a commitment to myself. And if I can help just one of you get unaddicted to the black hole of constantly checking emails, I'll consider it a win too. I understand that this email habit may not be something you want to or can break, especially in business. Like, for instance, we have some stationary print store owners and master shopkeepers who have time-sensitive emails, and maybe checking is something that they need to do for their business. But that's not the case for me. 3 to 4 times a day is plenty. And listen, habits like this may feel hard to break. We tell ourselves it's hard. This is why humans struggle with bad habits. or habits that they don't appreciate. That's why we struggle with changing them. But if I revisit what I said a few minutes ago, I know that I simply need to create a new routine for my brain. So let's recap what I'm going to do to retrain my brain. 1, all email notifications are off on my phone. Now, this was already in place and I'll keep it this way. 2, the Gmail tab on my laptop is closed until it's time to check email. 3, I have 3 daily recurring reminders that are set up on my phone. Actually 2, because morning is just natural. I get into my laptop and I look at emails, but I have 2. And these reminders are what will now give me and give my brain permission to check my inbox. 4, I have a 30-minute limit to file any new emails and folders, delete them, forward them, or respond to them. And if I need to, this is number 5, I'll run the timer on my phone to hold me accountable. I haven't had to do that yet. I'm usually pretty good. Like once I get in, I take care of business and I get out. I'm adding a number 6 because I just started to do this yesterday. Number 6 is I took the Gmail app that I was on the home screen, like the first screen of my phone, and I moved it back. So it's not easy for me to open my phone and click it right away. It takes an action for me to get to it. And that is a reminder to me like, nope, Kathy, this isn't what you're supposed to be doing. Now, some of you may be thinking like, really, Kathy, you're doing this? And yes, this is what helps me change my habits. It sounds ridiculous, but that's the way I have to treat my brain, then so be it. And I do feel myself getting a little anxious every time I talk about it, but I am telling myself this is going to be easy. It will be easy. And in all honesty, it hasn't been that bad, but it does involve some steps to break the habit. So if it's not email for you, what habit do you want to break or change? Because I know everyone listening right now is thinking of some habit that doesn't serve them well. I do believe we can all create better habits for ourselves. And this doesn't mean my customer service isn't important to me or that I won't check and respond to emails in a timely fashion. I will. I still will. So yes, I'll still commit to running 2 businesses to the best of my ability, but even more so, I'll continue to commit to myself and how much I value and respect the reality of time. Because my personal time is extremely important to me, and I'm doing everything I can to protect that. No one else can improve my time but me. If you found this podcast episode helpful, please share it with a retail business friend or any other business friend who might be able to utilize some tips on breaking their addiction to email or any other habit that they don't love. And if you don't mind, leave me a rating and/or a review on Apple Podcasts. I would really appreciate that too. If you want to see the show notes to this episode or find links to anything I mentioned, and I mentioned several past episodes that I think are really important to listen to on this topic, you can visit my blog at savvyshopkeeper.com/episode 167. Until the next episode, be savvy and boss up.